Coming up on Film Villains, Alex and Hunter share their love for The Breakfast Club. We tell the tale of a film we made where I completely rewrote the script while we made it. We dig into the 80s classics, Class of 1984 and Tenebre, and have a little fun watching horror films with tiny sadistic killers. Let's go! What is up?
What up?
Yes.
Here we go.
Only knew the things, the dark tales we just told of fingering and
I always say we should start the recording, immediately once we all get online, and then record through the tech issues and that kind of stuff. And then of course we do that today and immediately start talking about terrible things.
Yeah, I think we might be better off instead of spending a half an hour talking about butts and stuff that our own butts.
Yeah, speaking of which, www.hunterjohnsonsbooty.com.
Yeah.
Is that active again? Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Back online.
For $5 a day, you can use his butt as a softie.
Yeah. So how you guys been doing, man?
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I don't fucking know.
Did anyone watch anything good this week?
I did. It's going to be a part of my segment, so I'm not going to.
I watched some actual good movies this week for a change.
Really?
Weird. I watched. Well, I'm at my aunt's house. I just had my birthday, so I'm at a beach house right now.
Oh, happy birthday, bro!
Happy birthday!
This is all DVDs right here. We're literally living in physical media. There's no internet here. So I watched The Breakfast Club the other day. It's so fucking good. It's so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And I watched Back to the Future, like numero uno, OG.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Goddamn good. This is not my brand. My brand is terrible, awful Tubi movies leaving soon. But instead I actually watched like good movies for a change, and it was okay. I had a good time. Who knew?
Wait, so Judgment Night was a terrible movie that you talked about last week?
Judgment Night is fucking fantastic cinema fucking masterpiece. I was talking about something else entirely.
Yeah.
The Breakfast Club is honestly like one of those movies that I genuinely feel could be in the perfect movie category. And it doesn't mean that it's like the best movie ever made, but like for what it is, it's just perfect, dude. Like I don't know how you do it better.
The acting is, I think, I've seen that movie a million times, but this might be the first time I've seen the movie since I've made movies. I don't know if you guys have that, where like it's entirely different after you actually made it.
Sure.
I was like, how fucking genius. They're in one location.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 mid-level actors. Like that's what broke them. Like none of them were like insane movie stars yet. Like they just had St. Elmo's Fire really going. But they're in one location for the whole entire movie. And the credits roll, and it's like 5 people, and then it's their parents. Like, what a genius idea for a quick little fit. But they are such good fucking actors. Like, holy shit. Looking at Ali Sheedy in that thing, she is amazing. I mean, obviously, it's Bender's movie. He owns it. But, like, Ali Sheedy gets an MVP in there for sure.
Yeah, and Emilio. Emilio's great in that.
2 hits. Me hitting you, you hitting the floor.
Gotta love it, man. Yeah.
What character did you identify with most?
Did I identify with?
Yeah.
Honestly, none of them. No, I'm just kidding. Probably the goth chick. Yeah, I think.
Sheedy.
Yeah, Ali Sheedy. It's not that I wanted to be her, but I wanted to be.
It was your spirit animal.
She's my spirit animal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. You wanted to be with her.
Yeah, or Bender, I guess. Oh, yeah, there we go. And I just think that it's such a brilliant script, and the pacing is so good, and it's honestly probably one of my favorite movies from the 80s, a non-horror movie especially. I revisit The Breakfast Club like once a year or two at least.
Really?
Yeah, I love The Breakfast Club. So good on you, Alex.
And I feel like they're kind of like the 5 personalities that live inside all of us are these kids. So like, depending when you watch it, like you would relate with some of them more than others. But look at these fucking running montages and these dance montages. This is fucking montage at its finest, people.
Totally. I would take Breakfast Club over Ferris Bueller, over all those other, even Back to the Future. There's
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink. Like Breakfast Club is like the definitive 80s like comedy drama kind of movie.
It's a desert island movie. Like if I had 10, it would probably be in there because rewatchability is through the roof.
And I heard that John Hughes let the actors come up with the reasons why they were in the Saturday detention. And so their monologues, when they're all going around talking about why they're there, a lot of that came from the actors developing their character and working on their backstory. So when they performed it in front of the camera, a lot of the cast and crew were hearing this stuff like for the first time. So I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it's pretty cool.
I believe it. I know there's some stuff that's like ad lib that made it in the final cut. Like even just like a throwaway line where like they're asking Anthony Michael Hall's character, like, why do you have a fake ID? And he's just like, so that I can vote. Like that made it into the final cut. Like fucking genius.
Yeah, good one.
It sounds like John Hughes as a writer doesn't get too attached to what he wrote. Like he lets the actors help him create what's really going to be there, which I think is how you get these amazing performances.
Yeah, I think even the fist bump at the end might have been an ad lib. I'm pretty sure.
Best fist bump in all time.
Yeah. Breakfast Club. Wow. All right. Anyway, so horror, terror, carnage.
Yes.
How are you guys feeling?
Evil. Well, who was the villain in Breakfast Club? Because I haven't seen that movie forever. Like,
the villain is Vernon.
The principal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's not really a villain. The villain's kind of themselves. It's more
the villain's their parents. It sounds
their
like.
parents. Yeah, the villain is the family unit.
All of them relate on just all of that. I mean, even Ali Sheedy, they're like, "What's up with your home life?" And she's like, "They ignore me," and like that just fucking hits. Like Bender's talking about the physical abuse, but like neglect and abandonment, like. That's how you turn into a fucking sensitive goth kid right there, for sure.
Yeah. That ties into the tape I'm going to be talking about today. It's kind of like if the Breakfast Club went way south. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Did you watch anything, Jonathan?
Oh man, the only thing I saw this week was the new Mad Max movie, and
I want to see it.
I mean, who hasn't seen it? Hunter, you haven't seen it?
Yeah, but I'm okay if you want to talk about it. It's not a movie that I'm like itching to see.
Well, the thing is, I love the not trilogy, but the franchise. I love the franchise, and I even love Fury Road. I thought that was just a cool, updated kind of, opera of mayhem and destruction and craziness, but it was cool the way it was shot. Still, there's a lot. You could see the practical. You could see the fire bombs. You could see the crashes. This one, I was immediately taken out of the movie. I mean, the actual plot is interesting. It's fun. It's entertaining. But I was taken out by how glossy and sleek and clean the movie looked. And it seemed like there was way more CGI than practical stunts. I mean, I don't know how true that is. Maybe they just did a better job in Fury Road. But because it's such a bigger scope, bigger movie, the story is much bigger. Hence saga in the title. But it was every time I got in the story, I was taken out by something that looked fake. And for a Mad Max movie, that's just like, come on. That's like the recipe of like, wow, this is grungy and gritty and crazy. It's, dystopia world. It's this wasteland. You can't have slick, clean CGI that looks like a superhero movie in a movie like that. So I give it an A or a B+ for the story. It was fun. I was into it. But it took me out of the movie for, the way it was shot.
Yeah, I got to throw that on soon. I do want to see it.
Was there a Master Blaster or a Barter Town to be ruled?
There were like 3 towns that they were going. The story is cool. It's this huge saga. And it's just, and I think that's why it's a lot of CGI, because it's just the scope is so big. They couldn't do a ton of practical effects. I mean, they would have spent a fortune, I think. Maybe not. I don't know what the ratio is now between doing practical and CGI and how you save money. But on movies that big, they were going between Gasland and Citadel and the other, I forget the name of the other town. But yeah, it was really cool, really action-packed, but it just kind of threw me off halfway through every year.
Just on that
Not
note,
enough Tina Turner on the soundtrack.
Yeah, not enough Tina Turner. But you were like, oh, I think they would have spent a fortune making this movie. No, they only spent $168 million to make this fucking giant flop with no Mad Max in it.
But yeah, but my question is, how much, like, if they were cutting corners using CGI to spend $200 million, how much would it have cost for them to do practical effects in some of those same scenarios?
Yeah.
Or maybe write it smaller and cooler.
Dude, Breakfast Club style, dude. Just like five cannibals like in a broken down bus.
You know, you look at Fury Road. Fury Road's very simple. It's a simple plot, and it's, you know, point A, point B.
With a lot of characters and a lot of set pieces and a lot of
you can see, you can literally see all of the carnage in terms of stunts. You can see it on the screen, and it's such a big difference. From the opening, they're riding dirt bikes in the sand in this, you know, wasteland, and it's obviously they're not. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, shots like that, I'm like, man, give those guys some bikes.
Yeah, I saw that Fury Road.
Keep it in.
It was not. I did not like it. It was.
You didn't like Fury Road?
No, because it was cold and the story was. To me, the story was crap. I thought it was dull and it was just. There's nothing to connect to and nothing interested me. It was just this big ball of fucking fury and no substance and
big ball of fury. That's a pretty high selling point.
There's some heart in that movie. There's a little bit of heart in that movie. You gotta open up that steel heart of yours, man.
I know. No, I mean I'm open. I mean, like, you know, I was telling Jonathan we need to watch The Notebook together some night because it's an amazing movie.
The Notebook is a great movie, man.
Yeah, I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, dude, you got to have a date night and watch The Notebook, man. I was just telling Christian.
I just watched 9 months.
9 months.
And I've seen it. I saw it when it came out. It was a rewatch.
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, Hugh Grant.
Yes.
There's someone else.
Hugh Jackman just lives rent free in my mind.
Hugh Jackman would star in 9 Inches, you know, because his last name. But Hugh Grant stars in all the fucking. He grants love to women, you know.
I saw that Hugh Grant is starring in an upcoming horror movie that actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
it does.
And I'm like, that's a comeback I could get behind if Hugh Grant wants to start doing some weird shit.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
And he looks really creepy in it.
Yeah, what the fuck is that movie called? Hugh Grant horror movie.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool.
Heretic.
Yeah, it's like these two like
chicks,
kind of missionary chicks, are walking around a town and they're trying to convert people, and Hugh Grant invites them in and does Hugh Grant creepy stuff.
Yeah, it's like
look at that, man. He looks charming.
It's like a reverse Death Games.
Yeah, it's kind of like Human Centipede vibes.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's he's not a mad scientist.
But. Yeah, it's
opposite.
Have you guys seen Death Games, the original Death Games from the late 70s, early 80s?
I thought that. No, I'm thinking of something.
So, funny game.
So Eli Roth did the remake with Keanu Reeves I think it was called Knock Knock.
Knock Knock.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I fucking love Knock Knock,
dude, and that's actually Eli Roth's best movie.
It is his best movie.
Because most of his movies are not all that great, but
agreed.
But it's a remake of this amazing movie called Death Game. And it is. I mean, so as a remake, it is a solid remake, and lives up to the original, and they're
so I didn't realize that was a remake.
Yeah, so I highly recommend Death Game, but that's what so it's two girls fucking with a dude, but here it's two girls coming in and the dude's fucking with the two girls.
Yeah,
kind of a reverse Death Game.
Yeah, this looks intense, man, and I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know. It looks cool, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hugh Grant, man, he's looking creepy.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Did I bring up the? Wait, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm changing gears a little bit. Did I bring up that they're doing a remake of Ghost? Did we talk about that?
Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Channing Tatum is trying to be Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
Whoa.
Oh, damn.
See, they should just go for realism.
Big shoes to fill.
They should try to cast Patrick Swayze as the Ghost. No, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Sorry I said that.
Too soon. Way too soon.
Honestly, sorry I said that.
It took me a while. It
was terrible.
That was great. Never take back a joke. Never take back a joke.
Super method.
Yeah,
Do you know what? Here's what happens. As a comedian-minded individual, sometimes you're in a room like here, and maybe one or two of my jokes didn't land, and sometimes they fucking land, right? But it doesn't. But you have to just try again, right? Here's one example of a joke that I did. So I had I was involved in a theater, and so one of the ladies from the theater had cancer and was dying, basically in a kind of an induced coma in the hospital. So many of us from the theater went to. There was probably about 8 of us in the room. And she was probably on her. She did not want to be revived, kind of thing. She was like, you know what, I'm done when I'm done. So just pull the plug on me because it's just I'm not gonna last. So one of the guys wanted to sing a song for her. This might be all of our last time seeing her. So he's singing this Irish bar ditty, and he's an amazing, just a talent. Amazing talent. So he starts playing it, and once he finishes, we all clap, and then I told my dying friend, I'm like, well, on one note, at least you never have to hear that again. and then I'm like,
my God.
I'm like, oh shit. I just that was a pretty wild joke I just tried.
Did they laugh?
Yes, people did laugh, but
they laugh.
Did she laugh? She was in a coma, so she didn't move much. But I tried the joke. Like you have to fucking.
You gotta try.
You have to just go for it.
You gotta go for it. Sometimes, yeah.
Patrick Swayze cannot come back from the dead and haunt you because of that joke that you just did.
Yeah.
I'm a big Patrick Swayze fan. I love Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
I love Roadhouse. I actually really like the Roadhouse remake as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's super fun.
I think that movie is a classic, and I don't know what they could do to enhance it. I think Ghost is awesome, so I'm curious, especially channel. But then again, I'm hearing different things about his new movie that's out right now. Blink Twice, or I think that's what it's called.
I don't know.
He plays
Zoe
like an
Kravitz.
Epstein character. Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. He plays the Epstein Island guy on the island, and these girls get invited, and then they're trapped there, and then some crazy, sadistic shit starts happening, and so then they try to escape, I think. But I was saying I heard some good things about that movie. I heard some things that they say it's awful. So I don't know what to take in it. So I don't know if he can put that, step into those shoes of Patrick Swayze in such an iconic role. I don't know.
Well, the making of the movie is usually not his choice. So if Zoe Kravitz made a crappy movie, then he's just along for the ride and making his fucking couple of $1 million,
No, I mean, but I don't know how his performance was. His performance is most of the time, sometimes under somewhat your control. You know, some actors are made in the editing room and things like that. Like, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow, but I don't know. So we'll see.
Oh, by the way, I decided to represent today.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Deadly Reunion.
What? I gotta get one of those so bad.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh my god, I need one of those.
Yeah, you didn't know I had this then, huh?
Oh no, dude, I've never seen that. That's so sick.
Dude, you got to go to JamesCullenBresac.com or whatever his website is, and yeah, he has it. I think it's like a print to order situation, I guess. But dude, yeah,
sick.
Yeah, I gotta fucking represent, man. So if anybody doesn't know, Deadly Reunion.
Nobody knows. Nobody fucking knows.
Yeah, nobody saw this movie. We made a movie called Deadly Reunion many years ago, 8 years ago together, Alex and I and Hunter, and it came out and it never got seen hardly by anyone, but we're going to start doing a new push for it soon. Hopefully it'll come out on Tubi and all that. It just hadn't gotten released much on, I don't know. I never saw it anywhere, really. Maybe it was on Amazon for a while. But a ridiculous movie that we made many years ago.
Yeah, it was a like shitty post-college drama mystery that got a full rewrite, turned into a grindsploitation film like on day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's my copy of Deadly Reunion, dude.
Still sealed.
I always keep it close. Still sealed, but I have watched it multiple times.
Dude, that thing
this movie.
That thing retailed for like $7.99, and it's probably worth a sealed $8.01. You know?
Hey, you know what?
Extra couple of pennies.
Sometimes you just hang on to them, and it's like the stock market. You just hang on to it and hope that in 40 years it has a thing. No, but for real though, Deadly Reunion is one of my favorite projects that I've been a part of. And dude, Christian and Alex, we went to war on that one.
We went to war. For sure.
That movie is a fun example of you guys.
Jonathan has seen it.
You guys taking something and being like, okay, well, we need to kind of reimagine this as we're going, and we change this up. That's what's beautiful about it. It's like you guys just took it by the horns and started making your own movie. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the opening of that was in terms of what you guys had for authorship in terms of being able to do that. But
yeah, I was a late addition on that one, so I never saw like the original material. But that was directed by James Cullen Bresac. It's a wild grindhouse horror film that has such goofy stuff. We would come up with all these crazy ideas and just pitch them to James and pitch them to Barron, the producer and one of the stars, and we would hand the pages to the actors and they'd go film it, man.
Yeah.
But Christian was
the
we didn't have finances for pages. We didn't have a printer. Like, we would text them the pages, and you would be reading the sides on your fucking phone. And we'd show up each day, and it'd be like, oh, we don't have the budget for what's written. So then Ack would be like, okay, well, what's in my immediate fucking vicinity?
Yeah.
And then that's what's going to be, that's what we're filming today.
Yeah,
mind-blowing.
It's great.
I had just raided the Tonight Show prop room, the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, the prop area. they just allowed me to just take as much stuff as I could. So every day while I was there in the final days of the Jay Leno era, I was pulling stuff into my storage unit, just boxes and boxes and boxes. Every single day, I just filled my storage unit with like breakaway bottles and masks and wardrobe and anything I could find. And so that's what we started using for the movie. But kind of the basic idea behind Deadly Reunion, what really happened was that James, or at least on my end, James had called me the day before. We had already made 2 movies together over the prior 3 months or something, right? All 3 of us without Jonathan. And then James was like, hey, I have another movie. He calls me like on a Sunday. He says, I have another movie hey, can you come and help out tomorrow? Come on, man. I'm like, I don't know. And so he said, I'm going to send you the script. Just come out tomorrow. So I read the script and I'm like, oh man, this is not a movie that I want to be involved in right now. I'm not interested. I don't have time, you know.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. So I get to the set and I mean, the movie was basically 75 pages of people at a table talking. It was about 8 people at a table talking, or 10 people. I think 10 people are in the movie.
8 or 10.
So, and I'm like, man, this is it's just not an engaging script. I don't want to spend the next few weeks of my life making zero money. We made the movie for $8,000 or something.
It was 10. There were 10 actors, and it was
10, yeah. Each actor paid $1,000 to make the movie. So at lunchtime, day one, James comes up to me and we're outside just talking, and he's like, I'm like, dude, I'm not interested in this movie, man. I don't want to work on this thing. The script is not it's not my thing. And he's like, yeah, well, I've been trying to get it changed and get it worked out, like get something more engaging, but I couldn't get anything changed. So now here we are. And I'm like, well, maybe we should just ask the actors, hey, can we rewrite it as we go? Let's just make something interesting. Let's make it into a mystery. And he was like, yeah, this should be Clue. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do that. So he went in, talked to all the financing actors, and they all agreed. And so as he's talking to them, he says, hey, now we just need to find a writer. And I'm like, I'll do it. And he's like, all right, Ackerman is writing it. And so I'm sitting in a chair, and I just grab my computer and I start reading the script for the rest of the day. And then I started writing it. So everything from the first 3/4 of the first day, maybe the first 6 pages is the prior script. And then everything from day 2 on that we shot and then page 7 or 8 on is what I was writing with us, just sitting around on the porch in the backyard going, hey, what should we do? Should we have Mormons show up and they try to kill them? Should we have some goats? Let's throw some goats in there.
There was serious discussion about getting.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I know people with goats. Let's get some goats out here.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
I remember the goat chat.
But you essentially what you're doing. I mean, you guys are doing what Corman did with what's his name? The Terror with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, with the Terror.
Yeah, they had those old sets that were left over from some other film, and Corman knew I'm going to have them for a number of days, so I want you guys to go in there and come up with a story. And they were writing the script as they were shooting it, and that's why they say to this day, The Terror, you don't really know what's happening in the plot of that movie because they were making it up as they were going. And look at the talent in that movie. It's amazing. But it shows you those grassroots of guerrilla filmmaking, that style. That's essentially what you guys did. That's cool. So,
dude, yeah,
it was like a week-long, 48-hour film project. Okay, here it is. Let's just make it while we're running.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Hunter?
Oh no, I was just reminiscing of the days of Deadly Reunion. Yeah, no, yeah, it was the sometimes that's when you can get really good creativity, is when you're just have to be creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the best part was those 10 actor producers, whatever, they didn't know what Grindhouse was. And we had to show them and give them a brief little lesson. We're showing them, Tarantino and Rodriguez. It's no, this is the thing. People, let's do it. And they just somehow were along for the ride. Thank fucking God, because we got a little bit of a cult classic out of that thing.
Dude, well, James did a really good job putting it together in post too. It's one of my favorite Bresic movies. He really hits the Grindhouse feel. And also I gotta just shout out Baron J and Trey Ireland give really strong performances in it too. Better than
specifically Trey. That's his.
Yeah, Trey was great. Baron, Trey is just a fucking great actor.
He was great.
And Baron was great in it too. And
Rolling with Punches. Considering no one could prepare ever for.
Yeah. That's a tough challenge as an actor too.
Awesome.
But man, they rolled with it, and we did it, man.
That's another one that you guys got to do a VHF.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
And actually, we just got it up to start getting re-released online. So, yeah, and I'm going to talk to Baron about that because we definitely need to release that under the Black Vortex with the Film Villains posse. Maybe do a commentary and all that. But yeah, that's one of the. It didn't turn out to be this amazing movie, but it's an amazing movie still that it got made, and all the creativity that we brought into it. We brought in that like 80s, that 80s like mindset where creativity over fucking over everything else.
Yeah,
to make up for the lack of budget, the lack of lighting, the lack of everything we had.
The lack of flushable toilets on set.
Oh yeah, the lack of flushable toilets. Yeah. We couldn't if there was one bathroom we were allowed to use between 20 of us making that movie, and they wouldn't allow us to flush toilet paper down the toilet. So if anybody, you have 20 people making a movie together for 13 hours a day, you're gonna have
shit in a bucket.
We had to throw our toilet paper into
your toilet paper shit
into a trash can. I don't even know if we had a lid for the trash can. And then
I hope the rotation of taking that out was frequent.
Everybody held it for the week, I believe, except for Ack.
Ackerman was. It really was a problem that only affected Ackerman. It really
it affected all of you. Yeah.
You guys started getting that bubble in your stomach.
Yeah. Oh man.
But the weird part is trying to make a mystery movie where you have all of these things with 10 characters unraveling over the span of the entire movie, and trying to write it over the span of the 10 days or whatever that I had to write it. And actually, so basically what I just came up with, the idea I came up with just was to start planting seeds throughout the whole movie that I didn't know where they were going to go yet. I just had to go, okay, so these two people, their significant other, one significant other just walked out. Those two people start making out because they have a past history. And then a camera comes into frame and starts filming them. And it's like, oh, okay, I don't know what we're going to do. And I think I wrote it, and I don't even know if it, like, some of those mysteries ever got shot. Some things actually they were written and solved at the end. But, we had 8 days to shoot that movie. And, it didn't, a lot of things didn't make it. Because some people were improvising dialogue, too. So not all the dialogue was there to be as perfect as my masterpiece of a script.
Yeah. Check out Deadly Reunion.
Yeah, check out Deadly Reunion. Especially,
you're still listening. Check out Deadly Reunion.
Especially the ending.
Where is it at right now? Where is it streaming?
Nowhere. It's absolutely nowhere.
Oh, okay. So never mind. You can't even check it out.
Yeah, you can't check it out.
A correction, Deadly Reunion has been re-released and is on Tubi right now for free, or you can rent it on Amazon, so check it out if you dare.
And I'm just saying, this is why physical media is important, because I could watch Deadly Reunion right now. I might just throw it on.
Dude, I don't even have a copy.
Wow, bro.
Because it never got sold in DVD form like online. So
it was briefly.
Oh, for like a minute.
So, and the only reason I say this, and I'm sure y'all can all relate to this, is that I have a whole stack of movies that I've worked on, on physical media. Everything that I've ever worked on that got a physical media release, I bought a copy of. Yep. But how humbling is it to buy a copy of your own movie?
I know. Right. I've had to do it a few times.
I've had to do it many times. But that's just hashtag indie filmmaker life.
I don't like
always.
Night of the Bastard. Oh shit, there it is. Night of the Bastard. I had to buy that one.
Hell yeah.
This one, Fear the Night.
I mean, I bought all of mine, dude. Well, almost. I've gotten a handful of distributor freebies.
Yeah, but that's what happens sometimes. You get lost in the mix, or some things you never.
I just,
maybe you're the boom operator, and you're like, oh well, I should buy that. I should buy that movie, at least so I can have it.
yeah.
Souvenirs.
Yeah, like the first movie I ever worked on. It came out on VHS.
Ooh, I have that on VHS.
Really?
I have the item, yeah, for sure.
No shit.
I'd have to go find it, but yeah, I have it.
Yeah, I made this movie in 1997.
Shut up! I should find it, dude.
My friend, one of my best friends on earth, her name is Judy Kwan, and she was one of the stars of this movie. So
I gotta see that. I don't know if I've watched it.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
No.
I mean, it went to Sundance, and it came out all right. But I mean, we shot it in an apartment in North Hollywood, and then maybe some other scenes outside of that apartment. But
Nice.
I was just 20 years old, still in college, and my sister was like, "Hey, one of my college friends is making a movie right now, and it's a super low budget movie." And I'm like, "Dude, yeah, I'll fucking go." And so I all in between classes and work, I went and worked on. I ended up being the sound person and the boom operator. It was like
nice.
They were just like, "Hey, kid, here's a fucking sound machine and here's the boom," and so that was and it came out on DVD too. But
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Item.
pretty much the only movie I've ever made that came out on VHS.
That's cool.
Dude, that's super cool.
Well, I think it's I think it's time for something. Time for somebody to fucking change it up.
No ground.
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. All right, let's go. I think somebody's in control. Alex, are you in control of your life? Let's do this. Yeah.
You know we've got a stellar fucking show when you're like, who's got control of their life? And you called on me. We're doing great, guys. This is fucking...
You're leading the show.
Alex, you always inspire me.
You're an inspiration.
Jonathan. I try. I'm not at home, so I'm not as prepared. I'm at, but I'm at my aunt's house, a beach house. Literally last night, me and my girlfriend were staying here. We locked ourselves out. I had to escape room my way inside last night. There was a sliding door with wood between the fucking slats, and I had a screwdriver and a knife, and I lifted the wood slat up, and I fucking broke into the own place that I'm staying. So
damn,
I'm the person with the life most together right now. I had to break into the place. I forgot.
Yeah, this is when we find out that there's 3 dead bodies in the room that Alex is screaming
my
from.
Aunt's house.
Yeah, he's never had an aunt in his whole life.
You're gonna see me with the wig and the dress on later.
Hey, sorry, hold on, guys. My aunt's calling me. Alex.
Total just fucking Norman Bates that shit. So, okay, having it together. Punks on Film this week. We're talking, I think you guys have probably actually seen this one, maybe for a change. Class of 1984.
It's been so long.
Nope, I've never seen it.
I don't know if I've seen it either.
Fuck? Do you guys watch movies? Why are we doing this?
I don't know why we're doing this show.
This is why. This is why.
All right.
Yeah. You're
So,
getting introduced
this
to a
movie-
whole slew of punk movies, dude.
There's a lot of things on your guys' radar here. I mean, first of all, this movie fucks. This movie is fucking killer on every aspect. This is in that category of, I mean, we have punks here. We have on film. But this is written by Tom Holland. The same writer, fucking Chucky and fucking Fright Night.
Hell yeah.
Roddy McDowell is one of the leads. Talk Fright Night alumni. It's directed by Mark Lester, who is most famous for Commando and Firestarter, but this is his favorite flick that he ever did.
Really?
And
Wow, cool.
And this falls in one of my favorite categories of movies, which is that teacher who really wants to just help out, joins the inner city school, and it's overrun by drugs and gangs, and shit goes awry. That is Timothy Van Patten. That would be the villain. Who just smashed his head against the glass.
I think he was
He
chewing
smashed
on
his
glass.
head. I'm sure he did. Roddy McDowell
Okay,
in his
Roddy.
fucking prime.
Wait, so
Yeah.
is Roddy McDowell playing an American or an Englishman?
He's got the accent, so he's him. But in all of these movies, there has to be the teacher that already works there that kind of gives the new guy the ropes. And Roddy McDowell's carrying a fucking gun and he's drinking his way through the day with fucking liquor in the coffee cup.
That's great.
But
Yeah.
this is not like
I've had
Dangerous
teachers like
Minds
that.
where we're gonna have a fucking redemption arc. Like, no, he is going to fucking fight the fucking students because these kids are fucking sociopathic fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Drug dealing,
Wow,
fucking pimping.
this looks like
That
it goes
is
hard, dude. Jeez.
hard as fuck. And I don't know if you guys just noticed, but that was Michael Fox. Not even Michael J. Fox yet. This is his first film role of all time.
Oh,
It's
wow.
1981. He's 20 years old.
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
You blink, you miss him. He supplies some comedic relief. But I mean, this movie. God, I thought
that was
someone
his
going
stunt
to-
double. That's his stunt double, bro.
Oh,
Is that Michael J. Fox?
No, that's
No.
Michael J. Fox.
That's
They
him.
didn't. No one had stunt doubles in 1982.
That
Come
is-
on,
Is that
That might
Michael?
be J.
That
Fox.
might be somebody else.
No, that was him because
that's him.
yeah. Because,
Really?
the Family
He's-
Ties didn't come
he's
out until
just a baby.
83.
He looks
This
freaky in that
is-
picture, bro.
This is
Well, it's a-
years
Oh my God.
before.
Long, fast picture, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a kill scene. It doesn't show
Yeah.
people in the finest light. But the gang is fucking punks. They're, definitely Hollywood version of punk rockers. A little bit of new
Dude,
wave
I
in
need
there
to
and
see
just general
this.
criminal.
I love that.
But they definitely hired a
this.
bunch of punks for extras. There's a club scene. A band called Teenage Head from Canada is the punk band that plays. Hunter, You Will Love, the title track, is written and performed by Alice fucking Cooper.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Here, let me
Fuck
me play a little bit.
Oh, which song is it?
I don't want to misquote. Is it Children Are the Future? Something
Take
like
a
that?
look at my face. That's what he just said.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Roger Ebert said this was the best film he saw at Cannes in 1982. So
Really?
this
Wow.
movie is fucking
Nice.
awesome. And it's very, this is before they have metal detectors at all the fucking schools and stuff. But they're showing it like there's metal detectors at this school trying to just show how bizarro world, how fucked up this place is. And now that's the world we actually live in.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
I think
Yes.
She's so hot. They're so awesome. Timothy Van Patten is the bad guy. He's the villain, if you will, the film villain. And just, look at the car explosion. Look at the flip. This movie has literally, let's just stop the podcast and let's have everybody just stop and watch
Let's
this.
just
We'll come back in 2
watch
hours.
this. Yeah, we'll see. I'll see y'all in a couple hours, man.
Yeah,
This on
exactly.
Tubi.
Just,
Rah, rah. Sorry.
teacher.
Sorry. Good stuff, dude.
yeah.
He's so
Looks
hot.
like a gem.
I'm
It's absolute classic. It is one of the most punk on films of all entire time, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely crucial, necessary. We'll talk about it next week after you guys have seen it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you're killing Michael J. Fox, this is definitely punk rock, man.
Yeah,
he hadn't
it's
even
pretty
earned
fun.
the J yet. He's just Michael Fox.
Yeah,
Michael
Michael
Fox.
Fox.
Credited as Michael Fox.
And you get the solarization. Oh, into the poster, reverse solarization into the poster. Oh yeah, look at that.
This is like also, it starts that whole school trend, movie trend of the teacher saving the school type thing.
Oh yeah, the substitute, the principal,
Yeah.
Dangerous Minds, fucking
The
187.
faculty.
What was Morgan Freeman? Expeditious.
Lean on
Thing.
me. Or did I just make that up?
The Alice
Lean
Cooper
on-
song
lean on
that
me.
was it's called "I Am the Future Hunter." So
Yeah. It's on Zipper Catches Skin, which I've been revisiting a lot of Alice Cooper's older discography recently, and that's an album I haven't turned on in a minute, so I got to get back on that one.
because School's Out, I wonder they probably had him do it because he did School's Out, right? Because School's Out was 1978 or something.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
70s, so that would add up. That would add up.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper did a bunch of theme songs though, like
Yeah.
for especially for horror movies and genre movies, so it
My
doesn't
first-
surprise me.
My first Alice Cooper, really, that because I kind of missed that, and he wasn't really super prevalent during the 80s, but I think it was 1990, he came out with a song called Poison.
Oh yeah,
Poison running through my veins, your poison.
dude.
And I bought the single, for 99 cents at the Music Land, and I thought it was cool, but yeah.
Bro, I was in an acting class, okay, and this was when I was in like middle school, and we did stretches at the beginning of the class. You go through your body movement and your stretches and all that stuff. And a different student could bring in a CD every class and play a couple songs during the opening stretch. So kids would bring in their albums. I brought in Alice Cooper, and you had basically time for 2 songs. It was like a 10-minute warm-up or whatever. And I chose Poison and School's Out. And I told my teacher in that order, I was like, hey, let's listen to Poison and then School's Out. And he's like, okay, got you. And he did it the opposite way. He played School's Out first. And it bummed me out so hard because then we only had time to listen to half of Poison. But that's the one I wanted to rock to. I'll never forget that.
That's a jam, dude.
Motherfucker.
Fucking jam. This is 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be class of 84 because I've gotten to work with Tom Holland a few times. I've been to his house. He's a really fucking cool guy. He was in our My Favorite Horror Movie books. But I could not really talk about class of 1984 with him because I hadn't watched it yet. So I'm like, oh fuck. But
you should have had me on in ear, like
you should have, man.
Yeah, like it's one of those date movie kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Christian, now ask him how it was filming the scene with Michael J. Fox.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be too aggressive, but
Don't be
lean
too
in.
aggressive.
Feel his shirt. Feel his shirt, but not too high.
Yes.
Now
By the
gently,
sleeve.
gently sniff his neck.
No, dude, Tom Holland has shit from his movies on display in his house, like in his living room. He has a fucking a child's play, a Chucky doll in the box from the fucking scene in the beginning with Charles Lee Ray. Some of the fucking props from Fright Night, and it's oh man, it's just so cool. I was snapping pictures the whole time.
What did he smell like? Did he smell good?
It smelled like your booty.
So fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I'm going with a classic. I think we all are fans of. I'm sure you guys all seen Tenebre.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I got a
Argento.
horror confession. I have not seen Tenebre.
Same.
Cool.
I
Cool.
know, man. I'm gonna just keep it real though. I always try to keep it real, man.
Tenebre, it's an interesting movie in the catalog of Dario Argento movies because Tenebre comes after Inferno. And if you know anything about Inferno, that was part of the trilogy of the Three Mothers trilogy.
Yep.
Suspiria came out 77. I think Inferno was 80 or 81, 82? I can't remember. And so both of those, and that was part of his Three Mothers trilogy.
Yep.
And the last one was going to be Mother of Tears. And and Argento was technically supposed to do the third one, but he was so sick of doing witchcraft movies. It's an interesting spot, this movie, because at this point in time, Giallos have been out. There's a lot of different movies. There's people biting off of Argento and vice versa, Sergio Martino and many others. But anyways, so he was sick of doing these highly stylized movies about witches and alchemy and all this other stuff. So he wanted to go back to his roots and kind of get in and do a hardcore Giallo, kind of like Birds of Crystal Plumage. And so this was the answer. And it was actually inspired by a trip he had when he came to America. And he was promoting, I think, Inferno or Suspiria. It was one of the two. and there was an obsessed fan that was prank calling him like all weekend while he was in LA at the Hilton or some shit. So he writes this movie. It's about a guy, Peter Neal, who's a writer, and he's going to Italy to promote his book. And then all of a sudden there's this killer that's literally taking pages out of his book. And when he's killing people, and like, I think in the opening scene, there's a shoplifter girl that gets killed, and the pages of his book are ripped out of the book and shoved in her mouth, and he stabs her, I think. And that's what's or it's not this picture on the cover, but it's a different scene. But anyways, so then there's all these murders that start happening around this writer, and they can't figure out who it is. And then they start to think he starts going on a little quest to try to figure it out himself. So it's one of the classic Giallos of like the whodunit style. But another thing about Tenebre is it's very visceral. It's very gory. It has a lot of variation in terms of what he was doing in the last two movies that he did, like with Suspiria. He basically shot it it's bright, very brightly lit is what I'm trying to say, like a modern look, and it's very Giallo. So I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Hunter, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're doing with life.
I know, bro. I really feel like I've dropped the ball, and I noticed that John Saxon made an appearance.
Oh yeah, John Saxon's in it. He plays like Peter Neal's book agent, and he's taking him around all over Italy and stuff like that. There's tons of crazy shit. There's also, I read that Argento said people see this one as one of his goriest movies, but then they also don't realize he meant for it to be funny. So there are a lot of jokes in this movie. So I don't know if that's what he's referring to, or a certain other maybe dark sense of humor that he's got going on in this movie. But he said most of his fans miss that there's a lot of comedy in this movie, which is interesting. I also found out that he said Christopher Walken was supposed to play the lead.
Wow,
really?
So that would have been fucking interesting to see. But yeah, fucking Tenebre, it's one of my favorites. It's one of the best Argento movies I think he's ever made. And initially when it came out, it was criticized because it was so different from what he was doing in the last, 3 films, that people were kind of like, what the fuck is this? This isn't, Mother of Tears. And he's like, fuck you. This is something back to the roots of my original stuff, and it's awesome. So, I mean, I could go on and on for days about how it's cool and everything, but it's just a badass Giallo. It's if you're going to start to, it's an easy one to start with, and it's a lot of fun. Also, the band, like we were talking about techno style, crazy style music. Goblin score, the score of this.
Oh,
movie.
Goblin does the score?
Yeah, it's one of their probably their best score. I mean,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
I'm tripping.
There's a lot of twists and turns in this movie. There's I want to say, I don't want to give anything away, but I feel like there's 2 twists towards the third act of this film that are really cool. There's a lot of crazy dream sequences that connect to the killer, which you don't realize are gonna lead right into who's doing it. But the way that they're positioned within the film, you kind of don't know what the hell's going on. It's almost like you're in the killer's mind. So there's so much going on in this movie, and it's really cool. You can obviously see the inspiration that he had from him making horror movies and people being obsessed with his horror movies, and not in a good way of like maybe the media saying, oh, you're creating violence, or you're creating this kind of fucked up world from all of this nastiness that you're putting out. And because the main character in this movie kind of takes the brunt of all the murders that are happening. They're saying, hey, you're writing these books, you're the reason why people are going out and killing. And I think there's a line in the movie where the main character says, if somebody gets shot with a Smith & Wesson, do you go interview the president of Smith & Wesson? And so, you know, a lot of little things like that in the movie.
Little social commentary.
Yeah. It's almost, I wouldn't say autobiography, but there's a little bit of stuff like that. You can tell, like, he was getting a lot of heat, definitely in the 70s. He was getting a lot of heat for his violent horror films at the time. So, but it's one of the best.
I have a handful of Dario Argento movies, and I'm looking to expand. I eventually want to have them all on tape, and I don't have Tenebre yet.
Yeah, don't get them on tape, Hunter. Get the best copy.
This is the steel book.
Yeah.
I think it's Synops.
That looks nice.
And then pop it open. That was the little book. The booklet comes with it. Like, it's a pretty thick book too.
Yeah, no, and Hunter, then, you can't miss out on, look at that shit. You can't miss out on the color and the fucking shot. Like, you're looking at a film, like, masterful filmmaking. You can't just, like, cut it down.
Hey,
4:3 pan and scan.
we're gonna have this debate.
But no, this is a cool one because you got the full Goblin soundtrack. You have the Blu-ray and you have the DVD, and so
wow,
you can't beat it.
Yeah,
but
don't mess around, Hunter. I'm telling you, man.
And you know what, though? You know what? I've already been looking on eBay. You know, there's a bid right now. I might be able to have it in, like, for $12. You know, on tape, right, with my other.
Right here. There's this shot right here. Is one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. This is kind of a movie. This is the movie that inspired me to make movies, and seeing this, I was like, oh my God, you can do this. One of the characters we're following, we're looking out the window. The camera pulls out of that window, goes up the building to the second floor, and it's traveling. And Christian, if you play the music, the soundtrack while it's playing this, you hear this crazy goblin music.
Yep. And it's the best one.
You're like, what is happening? And then we end up upstairs to her roommate or her lover that's playing the actual album, but then it looks like the killer is actually coming into the room as well. It's
dude, that's
masterful.
And this kill is one of the best Argento kills. Yeah, of course. It's so legendary because it's on the posters. It's been on a fucking 100,000 T-shirts.
And it just keeps going. You're going up over the roof. There's a good friend of ours, Dave Parker. He made a movie. Forget the title of it right now. He made a feature where they shot it in the Hollywood Hills, and he did his version of this shot. And nobody picked up on it. I went to a screening of it, and I pulled him aside. I was like, I saw that Tenebre.
You're talking about the Dead Hate the Living? Oh.
No, not that one. No.
Oh, Coldwater.
Yeah, Coldwater. Yeah. He does this shot with PVC pipe. And a bunch of other shit. And they made it from scratch. And they were able to take the camera up over the roof, down on the other side of the building.
That's sick.
Fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, and you don't see this. And when I was watching movies as a kid, I was like, man, I've never seen a movie do this. And this is why Argento speaks to me. It's like, man, what the fuck? This guy is a master.
That is beautiful, dude. I love the cinematography from this era too. Like, I love it, man. Looks great. Yeah. Fucking A, man. I gotta get to Tenebre. Sorry, I lost it. I lost my train of thought there, guys.
No, there's also there's a bunch of other social commentary stuff in this too. Like, for instance, the killer is killing what he calls perverts, and there's just different people with different lifestyles and stuff like that. So people are kind of saying, well, what are you saying? What are you saying? This type of lifestyle isn't appropriate or whatever. But so there's all sorts of crazy stuff happening in this movie.
I just want to make note that Argento, my love of beautiful Italian females in Argento films. I mean, look at that! How fucking gorgeous this fucking human being is. So cool looking, and he always picked like the really unique and awesome faces too. You know, they were always something really cool about their faces.
So this is the one that I was talking. This is the cover of my box set right here.
Yeah,
so
this
is
is
on her shirt
as she's putting it on.
There's the killer.
Ooh.
Dude, when you're vulnerable, it's a different kind of vulnerability.
Oh wow, that was sick.
This art, man. This is art.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
It's not like a shower or being on the fuck. Oh, look at that. Hey, oh, hey, look at that. So it's
and
not
then
like
the whole time she's playing. That's the soundtrack of Goblin. It's
yeah,
like,
she's playing Goblin, rocking out the Goblin.
on the
all right, you're
nip
telling
clip.
me, man. I got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you got a lot of explaining to do, Hunter.
But
me too.
You watch this too. You see what's his name? De Palma. You see De Palma in this as well, and De Palma obviously saw this and borrowed from this as well. So it's one of his, I think, one of his best.
It is, yeah. From what top? What would you rank it in? Top 3 or top 5? Oh, top 5, huh?
Top 5, definitely.
Yeah, because I'm sure you would go Crystal Plumage or Deep Red. I'm Deep Red.
No, I
Opera.
would. It's so hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a. Honestly, I'm not a huge. I don't put Deep Red that high.
Yeah,
it's. I think. I don't know. It's a masterpiece, but it's not my cup of tea as much.
Red's not top 5 for you.
No.
Okay.
If it is, it's 5. It's
Yeah.
But yeah, Tenebre is up there. Suspiria is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
I love Suspiria.
Yeah.
And Crystal Plumage.
Yeah, Crystal Plumage. But opera, I love opera.
Yep.
And I love Phantasm, or not Phantasm. Excuse me.
Phenomena.
I love Phantasm.
Phenomena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Inferno. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well,
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, everyone needs a little. If you're a horror fan, you need a little Argento in your life. If you've never
A
had it.
little slice of Giallo.
Yeah, you definitely need some of that. So, all right, it's time for some Acronomicon time. Let's do this.
Ooh, a new segment, Creatures of the
Yeah,
Night.
we got a new segment called Creatures of the Night. My name is Christian Ackerman, and so I want to highlight in this new segment that I've never done before. I want to highlight the creature features of the '80s, the beauty and the horror of the wild special effects of the '80s, and the creativity of low budget film cinema and high budget cinema. It doesn't matter what it is. So today on this episode, I want to showcase Ghoulies. Have you guys, who has seen Ghoulies?
It's been a long time. I was young, but yes, it's
I know. It's been a long time too.
Yeah. So Ghoulies, I hadn't seen it in a long time either. And I remember when I was a kid, I saw Ghoulies Part 2 a lot more than I saw Ghoulies. For whatever reason, maybe it was playing on TV more or something like that. But I hadn't revisited this movie since the fucking 90s or the late 80s, probably. I don't know. But I watched it over the past few days. It is so fucking cool. It's so energetic and super fast. It's a Charlie Band movie. He didn't direct it. He had some other guy direct it. And for those who are the uninitiated, it starts off with this awesome ritual, a satanic ritual from however many years ago, and then it goes into it kind of abruptly ends that ritual. But no matter what, like in that beginning, there's a couple of these little ghoulies that come out, and it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And then it cuts to present day, which is 1980. the movie was shot in 1984, and the interesting part, which I did not know, is that Ghoulies was shot around the same exact time as Gremlins. So Gremlins came out in the summer of 1984, and Ghoulies was shooting at the same time. So apparently, Charlie Band he ran out of money in order to finish the movie, and so Ghoulies and Gremlins would have been brother and sister movies, and probably come out at the same time. But somehow whatever he did wrong in the production, or he spent too much money, he ran out of money, and so they had to finish shooting like 6 months later. And so so that's kind of like an interesting little slice of the world, that because I always thought Ghoulies was a ripoff of Gremlins, because and so kind of the history when we were growing up in the 80s, like when Gremlins came out. And if you haven't seen Gremlins, of course you have to fucking see it. But there are all these little monster movies like that came out, like Ghoulies and Ghoulies 2 and Munchies and Troll 2 and I don't. Do you guys remember any other? And Critters, of course, Critters.
Yeah. Critters.
Awesome. So we got so many cool little creature movies after that, and I mean even Child's Play could have been considered that too, So. Ghoulies and Gremlins were brother and sister movies that were basically the trendsetters for these miniature creature movies, and maybe the Godfather was a trilogy of terror. The trilogy of Terror doll. That was probably the first real one that got all of like the suburban moms frightened in their seat in the late 70s, with starring Karen Black. So Ghoulies starts off with this ritual. You cut to present day, and it's this college age dude with his chick, and they're walking through this, this kind of dilapidated on the grounds of this dilapidated manor. And he's like, yeah, I just inherited this house. And she's like, oh, that's cool. So let's start a life here. And he's in college and all that. But he starts looking around the house, and he sees this book, and he starts reading it, and his persona starts getting clashed with the original guy from however many years ago, the Satanist that was doing rituals back then. So he starts reading stuff from the book, and it becomes this fucking ritual thing where he's now. Let me play the trailer. Where he's now. It's always hard for me to talk and
pull up
what's going on. Yeah. So this house that they're taking over, it's actually that shot that we just saw, I'm like, what the fuck is that house? I know that house. And so I lived in Hollywood, and I live in LA. But I lived in the Hollywood area for many years, and I used to go to this one house. And sometimes an old girlfriend, I bought her a turtle. And I used to take this turtle to this park. So I would let the turtle walk around the park and walk on the trees and climb trees. And he was just like an awesome turtle. And it was in that front yard that they just ATV'd into the house. But so it's right there. So if you're going to, a little aside, if you want to see the Ghoulies location, it is at the end of Franklin going west. Go all the way to the end of Franklin and park, and then walk into the little park there, and there's a house there, and you can visit the grounds. But either way, the fucking the dude is kind of getting into this ritual stuff, and so they decide to throw a party like almost the first or second night as soon as they move in. Oh yeah, look at that. So they throw a party, and then the party has this like terrible fucking breakdancing segment that's very, very reminiscent of the Australian chick. I mean, it is fucking. I fucking think that the Australian chick stole her whole fucking moves from the fucking scene from Ghoulies. It is bar none
the Olympics girl.
Yeah. The Ghoulies part, the Ghoulies scene, take away some of like her kangaroo bullshit that she did. Besides that, it's like, you know, when she's kind of writhing around the ground, kicking with her feet and shit. It is unbelievably. They had a shitload of white people in a room, and I'm sure they asked any of the people, hey, does anyone, and they're all LA people, so none of them are fucking New York breakers, right? And we're in 84, and breakdancing is fucking very prominent all over the world. I mean, not the world, but I'm saying over the air. You know, it's in the pop culture, And so so they're like, okay, which person can we find to do some breakdancing? And they probably just pick some random fucking dude out of the crowd. I can't remember if it's one of the lead I think it is one of the lead actors, or one of the supporting actors. And they just have him writhing on the ground and faking like he's breakdancing. And then that scene ends, and then they're like, all right, well, fuck it. Let's everybody from the party's gone, and now it's the core 8 people. And so this guy right here decides to, he's like, oh, well, let's do some fucking seance shit. He does some seance shit.
Classic mistake.
Yeah. And,
sounds like a cool party.
And it ends up being like, nothing. We got nothing, and nothing's happening. All right, let's just leave. So they all end up leaving, and they you know, as soon as they walk away, there's a ghoulie shows up, right? But then after that, this dude and this chick fucking are still living in the house, and she's like, dude, why are you getting so weird? And he's starting getting weirder and weirder, to the point where she has to break up with him. She comes home early one time, and the chick walks in on him doing this fucking seance and shit where he's conjuring up ghoulies. It is fucking wild, this movie. Unbelievably
out of control.
So fucking entertaining, so creative. It barely makes sense, and in the best ways. Jack Nance, from the guy who played Eraserhead, plays one of the characters, a very, very bit part. John Carl Beckler does the special effects. Ted Nicolau, who's also another fucking LA indie stalwart of the horror scene, he was the editor. This movie is so much fun. It moves super fast. If you compare it to to Puppet Master, Puppet Master is like a slow drudge, like the first movie. Compared to this movie moves fast. It's super fucking weird. The Ghoulies, I've forgotten. You know the poster, which actually, I need to fucking pull up the poster, because if you are a human being and if you've never seen the fucking poster for Ghoulies, take a look at. Oh shit! God damn it!
Dude, I have a special connection with the poster, because when I was a kid going through the horror section at the video store, that shit used to make me cry. I literally remember being a kid crying looking at that. And my parents would have to keep me out of the horror aisle because of the Ghoulies box.
Really?
Yeah, it made me cry, dude. I straight up remember it. Dude, I remember the shame of crying at the video store because of that box.
One of the most effective, beautiful, unbelievably awesome fucking movie posters of all of movie posters, I think, because this brings up the idea that another idea that, like, you're in your most tender state, you're pooping, something comes up from
chilling, relaxing,
and
you're listening to your favorite song. You got TikTok on the screen.
You know your butthole's sensitive. And you're like,
you just ate a couple tacos the night before.
It's really gonna hurt.
Ears, you're ready to relax, and then the ghoulie.
And then they came up with that one, which is just as amazing, you know.
I knew you were talking about these today, Christian. I thought I'd show off. These are two of my gems. I only have part 2 and part 4, and actually, Ghoulies part 1 is top 3 most sought after VHS tapes for me currently.
Which one? Number 3?
No, number 1 and 3, but particularly number 1. I really, really want a clean copy of Ghoulies 1.
Yeah, I dubbed all of them, or maybe 1 through 3 onto VHS, rented them and dubbed them onto a new VHS. So I've never owned any solid copies with great art or anything on them. So.
Oh, dude, I got these 2 at Be Kind Video in Burbank, actually.
Oh, really?
And I was so excited to find them, because Ghoulies had always been so high on my list of tapes specifically for the box art. And when I saw those two, I fucking flipped, dude. I told them it was like a bucket list item for me to get all the Ghoulies on tape. That's like what I'm doing this all for, bro.
So, okay, let me get back to a little more of my notes from this movie, and there is a lot of
on Ghoulies.
Yeah, dude, this movie is there's a lot of gay innuendos, almost like a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street gay innuendos. So it makes me wonder if it's very similar. Like maybe there's somebody who's trying to put a little bit of gay stuff in a movie. But I was like,
it was the 80s. The 80s was just kind of gay in general. Dude.
It was, but it was weird. But there's this line at the end. I wrote it down too. Where it's the villain. I forget his. I didn't write down his name, but the villain is like, he goes up to the lead character who is almost kind of the villain as well, and he's trying to suck his soul into his and give him like this fountain of youth thing, and he says. And he's all zombie looking too, and he says, "Kiss me, my son." He wants to make out with him.
Yeah, that's what you said to me the first time we met,
dude. And I'm very glad you did, and that's why I look so young.
That's why we got along so well.
But once the movie really kicks into gear, and which it's always in gear, but when it really kicks into gear, and all the Ghoulies start killing people, and all those 8 people, it is fucking so much fun. It is fucking awesome. I know I'm missing way more, but there's some really funny fucking moments with the Ghoulies. Like anytime that there's a little monster that goes,
yeah,
and there's you can tell there's a fucking hand in the puppet, or you can even see the fucking puppet strings, or like the arm or the arm bar that's like moving. It's just a great joy for me because I just love fucking little creatures that laugh sadistically.
Hey, I was. Oh, go ahead, Jonathan.
No, I was just gonna say it goes back to inspired so much. Like I was just thinking, looking at my list of movies that come out of that. It's like The Nest. You remember The Nest?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The meat-eating cockroaches. That little monster. They turn into little monsters, and then I was just looking up some stuff. Munchies. That's another one, but it goes across the board. I think that stuff inspired that whole era of like these little creatures and monsters, and I mean even if you say Tremors can fall into that category in a sense, sort of. But that's all I was pointing out. It's like there's tons of stuff that came out after that that's kind of inspired by this.
Little monsters are always fun. Yeah, like Puppet Master. I was gonna say I was watching a Full Moon Picture the other day, and there was a trailer for Ragdoll on it. I love Ragdoll, dude. But yeah, dude, those little critters, man, they're scary because they're so little. But I feel like I could take almost all of them, unless it got me when I was on the toilet. Then I'd be
Leprechaun. Does that fall into?
Leprechaun.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, he didn't make it until the 80s or so, right? Or I mean, early 90s.
Leprechaun was
it's Jennifer Aniston's first flick. It's probably late 80s.
I think it was 1990.
Okay.
Either that or
it kind of counts as the 80s.
The 80s last until like 92. The way
yes,
work.
That is very true. And Nirvana just killed everything.
Yeah,
murdered it.
Yeah,
fucking just took Guns N' Roses and just fucking put a bullet right in Axl.
Yeah. Remember Dolls? Dolls. I used to watch that all the time.
Dolls, I mean, Charlie Band ended up being the king of all these little monster movies with
and
dolls and demonic toys and fucking Ghoulies and fucking Puppet Master. Like,
dude, I was watching this one that he did called Sideshow, which was right around the same kind of time frame. And that's when like Full Moon was making like high quality, and not to say that they aren't still making high quality pictures, but
they're not making
well. But I'm just saying they had a better production value, in the 80s.
They had bigger budgets. He had
bigger budgets. Yeah.
I don't know. The 80s had this weird. There's a lot of that obsession. I mean, I love killer doll movies, obviously, but there's that thing going on. Even I was thinking about when I was in school, they made us watch the Karen Carpenter story that was a biography of her life. And then it was all out with Barbies. Do you guys remember? You guys ever seen this?
Oh, you're talking about the Tom Haynes movie?
Yeah.
His illegal Barbie Karen Carpenter story movie. Yeah.
It's
I know about it. I've never seen it.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
I think it was Todd.
Yeah,
Haynes,
you have to look it up. I don't want to derail us too far going into Karen Carpenter and her whole life and how she was the picture of
bulimia.
But before that, she was like the iconic American pop star, but the wholesome looking pop star, like the best, and she was huge. She was also the opposite of the counterculture kind of music that was coming out that was too scary, and she was doing the safe music. She was the artist you could take your kids to, and the whole time she had bulimia and she was killing herself and she was hiding it. And there's this crazy in '87. There's this crazy doll movie with Barbies where they did a whole Karen Carpenter movie, and it's really
just begun.
Yeah,
I gotta see that.
Creepy. But my point is that you have this weird thing in the '80s with all this doll stuff, like constantly, every aspect of pop culture. So it's really crazy.
I mean, Gremlins really set it off, but then I think I'm pretty sure Ghoulies. When I looked it up, it was made for a few $1 million or some shit, supposedly. But I think it made fucking $30+ million at the box office, which is huge.
And it probably made even more on home video
for like a single location movie. But there is a lot of there's a lot of studio work in it. I can tell because especially the ending and all the stuff where the rituals are happening. They were built the set and the set's falling apart and things are crashing at the end. And but with this poster, it didn't really live up to the expectations when you're watching the movie because you're like,
when's it gonna come out of the toilet?
Yeah, is someone gonna sit on that toilet when it's coming out? So they did have, there's like this little Ghoulies montage where you see that basically this scenario. I mean, they set this poster up but it looks a little different in the movie. But in Ghoulies 2, there is that scenario. They actually came through finally and had the guy sitting on the toilet when the ghoulie comes up and attacks him. So that's the one I remember more when I was a kid because the Ghoulies 2 is fucking cool. It's set in the carnival and all that shit. So
you got to talk to Aaron Mento, bro. Aaron Mento loves Ghoulies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, I think he had like a whole podcast about Ghoulies.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, he's like a Ghoulies super fan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That toilet poster for Ghoulies, it's definitely, I think it subconsciously inspires all horror filmmakers.
Oh yeah, totally.
I wrote a treatment. I have a script. I don't even want to say what it is because I feel like anybody would just take it and run with it. But it's called Rabid Squirrels Part 2. And I have a scene where the older sister goes to sit on the toilet, and there is one of the rabbit squirrels is hiding in the rim of the bowl of the toilet.
Nice.
Rabbit Squirrels Part 2. I'm gonna totally steal that, Jonathan. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's in that vein, and I would love to make that someday.
Yeah, I think I just got malaria just now because I've been. If you're see me looking at my arm, there's a motherfucking mosquito in here that's got me 3 times in the arm. So now, like, I have this mosquito swatter. I'm trying to fucking.
Oh, we were wondering last time.
Handle your business, bro.
No, dude, it'll be forever. I just have to catch them off guard. I go through and tap everything.
I think you were going to play racquetball. Last week.
Oh, fucking so annoying. Like I've said before, I feel very little shame. But I feel a lot of shame right now because I've lived my entire life since the 80s and definitely my entire adult life where I could decorate my bathroom, and I've never put a fucking Ghoulies or Ghoulies 2 poster above my toilet, and that is going to change. I declare that is going to change. So by the time you come over next, there will be one of those posters on above my toilet, making you think that if you sit down on my toilet, you're gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
No pooping. No pooping.
No. Oh yeah, creepy Uncle Christian or the Ghoulie will get. Oh my gosh, dude.
I don't even know whose fucking segment we got to do. Let's do this.
I decided to play it safe this week and choose a movie that I just really, really like. And we were talking about 80s horror. We're going to talk about early 90s horror film. And, you know, it's called Mikey. And yeah, this is, I've realized with our show, Film Villains, that we talk about a lot of things that probably get us flagged on the YouTube algorithm in some way. So with that said, this is about a little kid that kills a bunch of people. I literally just watched it earlier today. I'd probably throw this movie on a bunch. It stars the kid from Blank Check. And
it stars the kid from Family Ties. Let's start with that.
Okay, my bad. I know.
It shows the different eras because he's the Blank Check kid to me too.
Yeah,
oh, really?
He's the Blank Check kid to me.
He's Brian
Us
Von
millennials
Ball.
say Blank Check. The Gen Xers are gonna say Family Ties.
Oh yeah, Blank Check, the guy who wrote fucking Save the Cat, the movie books, wrote Blank Check, didn't he?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, dude, this is a hard R, gnarly fucking movie where this kid basically plays a sadistic murderous psychopath. And the cool thing about that I really, really love and appreciate about Mikey is it goes hard from the first scene. So the movie opens with him literally killing his foster family, like his mom, his dad, and his baby sister, his little sister. And then you just follow him as he gets adopted into a new foster family. And then they start to discover that Mikey is actually like a sadistic psychopath. I think that it's a freaking awesome horror movie. It goes really, really hard. I do have to say, though, that there's been a bit of modern re-looking at the movie Blank Check. And this particular actor in Blank Check, there's a love angle in that movie between him and an adult, a full-grown woman. And she even kisses him in Blank Check. And there's a bunch of people looking back at Blank Check with a more like, you know, modern lens and going, this was not okay. Like this is a full-grown woman kissing a little child. Mikey should be re-looked at through a traditional lens. I don't want to speak ill about this actor or any of his career choices, but I would be very curious to see what it was like for him to work on a film like Mikey and a film like Blank Check, where from a kid's perspective. And the reason I say this, he's in some compromising shots in this movie. Like this is a hard R-rated horror movie, and this kid is like the main freaking character. So so I gotta give props to that. You know, like there were some scenes where I'm watching and I'm like, oh, like this is a little kid. Like, I hope he was okay. Like, yeah. But great movie though.
But you don't think like some of that was cut, like it wasn't like cut around?
So I watched it again today just so it was fresh, and a lot of it, was cut around. But there are some shots in it. They made some choices where the kid is on set for things that appear pretty gnarly. And I'd be, you know, and the only reason I even really bring it up is because he has the controversy with Blank Check, where like he was literally like kissed by an adult actress. There was a weird romantic kind of storyline in Blank Check between this actor and.
From what I remember, though, it's like a puppy love thing, and she just kind of like throws him like an endearing bone. Like it's not like she's like really hooking up with him.
I am not on team cancel Blank Check by any stretch of the imagination. But I just found there was interesting parallels in his I guess maybe the type of roles that he particularly was getting cast in around this time, where he was in more adult situations.
He was a
Yeah, but
He
what
was the kid actor that was
sex
willing
guy.
to go there, dude. You know what I'm saying?
they were casting kids and all in that era. All the kids were getting cast and stuff like that. If they were in rated R horror movie type thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you told me about this, let's just make sure that we're all discussing two things in this, because I don't care about Brian Bonzol or if his life ended up getting fucked up because he starred in this series.
He's a musician now.
Or if he made
Oh, he's a musician. His life is fucked.
Yeah, he made yeah, exactly. He made out with some fucking adult. Let's just say Josie Bissett is in this movie. That blonde right there, that lovely lady from Melrose Place. If you grew up in the 90s, mid 90s, Melrose Place, she was a fox. And let's just discuss Ashley fucking Lawrence from Hellraiser.
Yeah,
Kirsty. Holy shit.
Also,
Ashley Lawrence is still, if you see her at conventions, I've never really gone up to her and talked to her, but holy shit, she's still 30 years from these images is still just as beautiful, like unbelievable.
I believe it.
You know who else is in this from Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
The kid that gets killed by the 6-foot turkey.
Yeah, more like a 6-foot turkey. Yeah, he's in it. He's in it. Straight up, dude. It was like the only role I know him from. Yeah, but this kid, Mikey, is a sadistic kid in this movie. Like, he's literally hanging out with his friend, and he's like laying on a grave, and his friend is like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "You know what? You should really like be careful because like sometimes like he's like saying all this like crazy stuff. He's like poking holes in his arm with like a pin. He's like torturing animals, dude. Like, this movie goes hard. This is like if The Good Son like took the brakes off. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking about that.
Wait, which one came out first?
That's actually a really good question. I can tell you, I am also a fan of The Good Son. I think
research it, Alex. Jonathan.
But Mikey like is definitely got more of that like trashy horror like vibe. Not trashy, but like like hard R-rated.
Oh, there's that other kid that was in a lot, like that kid.
That's 6-foot turkey.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I see that face. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but it's a great movie, man. If you haven't seen it, it is like a slice of 1992. This was when the 90s, like 80s movies became 90s movies.
Look at that girl too. Like whoever cast it, or the director, or whoever was choosing the beauty in this movie, they chose well, man. I'm telling you.
Christian. And that's what I'm talking about. The kid in Compromise. There's several scenes where he's like in scenes with people in their bathtubs, and I'm just like that. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to go there. But yeah, he's like drawing fucked up pictures. Like, and then on top of that, he's like manipulating his foster parents. And then he like, I think he approaches a double-digit body count in this movie.
Shit.
I am not even kidding. He kills mad people in this movie. It's like if Chucky was just like an 8-year-old kid.
Is that his foster mom? Because I haven't seen this since the 90s.
That is his foster mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his second foster mom. But yeah,
I've never seen this, and I'm gonna watch this tomorrow night. I promise.
Alex, I have a copy too. I just happen to have it like out in the open.
What were you doing with that? Why was that so accessible?
Yeah, I need to fucking watch it. Like,
bro, throw it on, dude.
Yeah.
It totally fits the criteria of movies that I'm particularly attracted to, where you know who the bad guy is from the first scene, and it's just a story about like what they're gonna do next.
You're following
this time. The bad guy is fucking Mikey, dude.
And little kid.
The little kid. Oh yeah, he's making like snuff films and shit. I'm not even kidding, bro. I'm not even kidding. Yeah.
Well, from this point forward, he won't be the kid from Blank Check or the kid from Family Ties. He's fucking Mikey.
Right. Yeah, now he's Mikey. He's Mikey to me. Blank Check second. But yeah, Mikey's great, man.
Yeah.
He's on Cameo. I know that because I actually did look him up He's on Cameo. I watched a few
Oh,
of his
shit.
cameos. Yeah. I
So
love
we can get him
like,
to present Film Villains via Cameo.
Damn.
I would, yo, yeah, you know, we
There
should.
you go.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I might hit him up on Cameo. I would love to just be like, hey, could you send me a cameo of like 2 minutes of you just talking about what it was like to make Mikey?
Let's get him
Like,
on here.
Yeah, I don't care
let's
what
just
you say.
interview him.
Just like, yeah, you know what I mean. I'd
Just
love
get
to
him
hear
on the
it.
show.
Like I
Get him on
said,
the
it's a
show.
hard
There
movie,
you
bro.
go.
So, but yeah, that's Mikey, man. So, yeah, this particular tape, I don't recall when I got this or where I got this tape, but I got it definitely in college because this is one that I've been watching for many, many years.
Yeah, so The Good Son came out a year later. Macaulay
Yeah,
Culkin.
that
So
sounds right.
he did Home Alone in 1990, and then 1992 was probably Home Alone 2, and then he did The Good Son, maybe to break away from the Home Alone shit.
Yeah, he wanted to be more mature.
And I remember it not being as good as Mikey because Mikey was fucking hard, but
Mikey is better. Mikey is way harder than The Good Son.
Yeah.
Good Son is like the commercial version of Mikey. Mikey is like the turn on at midnight when after your parents go to sleep version.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode.
Wow, man. I don't know how long this edit's gonna be, but this was a nice chat, gentlemen. I needed that in my life.
Definitely.
We did good. We talked about some
absolutely.
movies. You know what? I keep forgetting, and we all need to remember to thank everyone that is watching this.
Yo,
Please,
yeah.
if it lasted this long, give us a like.
Bro.
I gotta say something about that. We got a comment. Where is it?
Oh
We
yeah,
got a
we got a great
comment.
comment.
We got a comment.
And
We got an awesome-
wow.
I gotta get on it to respond. I
Yeah.
just saw it.
We got a guy that I think it's a guy. I'm pretty sure it's a guy
I
that
don't know.
commented
We got a person.
on
We have a person, yeah.
our
Human watched our show.
2 or 3 weeks ago video, was watching it and was getting got really excited about what Jonathan was talking about with noir movies.
Okay,
And,
his name is at Midnight Geek 6629 is his.
Yeah.
What up, Midnight Geek? Thank you, bro.
Midnight Geek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what did he? Well, so
He
yeah.
said, "Hey guys, just found your channel. Really enjoyed the recent viewing discussions. Thanks to Jonathan at Director Lewis for A Bittersweet Life, 2005, when I was talking about that Asian film. He said, I'm a big fan of I Saw the Devil and The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. Somehow I missed Bittersweet Life. Sounds like a twist and take on the Out of the Past from 1947. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's going hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on,
So
Phil.
he says, which is one of my favorite classic noirs. By the way, if you enjoy Asian films, have any of you seen The Man from Nowhere, 2010? He said, it's a brilliant film. Highly recommend it. He said, okay, back to the video. And Christian, I love a copy of your book, My Favorite Horror Movie 3.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Send that shit out.
There you go. So if there are any copies left,
Yo,
he
Christian,
wants it. He
drop
wants it. So
drop
cheers.
a thing there, dude.
I've already done that. I've sent you guys the email just to thank
There
this
you go.
comment. And there was the edit.
And he goes with the thing, John Carpenter. The thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh yeah,
Proper
yeah.
answer.
No. And he basically, he loves the discussion and the insight and the news. So yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so-
an edit here. I didn't see this part.
Yeah. And if anybody is watching this like 3 years from now, we've done, this is our 6th episode that we're doing right now, and we've done 5 hour plus long episodes, and nobody's commenting and nobody wants to get free shit. We've been trying to give away free shit the whole time. So finally someone from a few weeks ago episode is like, hey, can I get the free shit? And we're like, all right, fuck it, let's give you some free shit. So I asked this fellow or Midnight Geek or lady, I don't, was there any name? Either way, whatever. We asked this person to send us their address and go to our website, blah blah blah. So we're gonna give this person a good giant package of cool shit.
Yeah.
Just be very careful when you open it, because Christian puts weird stuff in his packages when he.
Yeah, there.
Like,
Yeah,
not kidding.
We don't have to
Open it
worry
all the
about
time.
that. Ack said it was a giant package. It's nothing like that. No.
Put gloves on for sure before you open that thing.
Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty cool because we're not getting any comments. We're an early stage YouTube show, so we're just glad to get anybody.
Right, there was just that guy that saw the episode of Quincy MD that I had mentioned. That's like the only other thing. But we are finding our audience, and they're fucking nerds, and we love you.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Columbo fans to find the last episode.
Yeah, that's
for.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did he? I missed this part. Did he say that he was a shout out? He said shout out to Dead and Buried.
Yeah, Dead and Buried and The Thing.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Really,
I love that movie. As a lot of people say, it has a lot of problems in it, and it's weird. I love it. It's right up my alley. So shout out to that.
I thought I had seen it, but I've never seen that movie.
I think I might, do a little venture off of. I mean, I could link in some sort of Giallo connection to it somehow. Pull a stretch.
We can get flexible. I mean, Christian changed his segment.
Yeah, I think I might do Dead and Buried next week.
Dude, fucking do it, man.
Do it.
Do it in honor of our comment, bro.
Dude, because I watching the trailer for this movie, I was like, I could not believe that I haven't seen it, but it looks so fucking cool. And so, shout out to what is it? Midnight Marauder, Midnight Geek 6629.
Yeah. Man, the opening scene to
this
this movie is one of the best things you'll ever see in horror.
That's creepy. History. That's creepy.
Welcome to Potter's Bluff.
Oh yeah, I like it.
It's one of those movies I started watching. I'll talk about it next week, but it's like you watch that opening scene. It's one of those where I'm like, oh, what is this movie? What's going on here? And then all of a sudden, just everything goes haywire within seconds.
They're putting eyeballs into
and some crazy shit's happening, and you're just like, what the fuck is
Dude,
this?
I see some Giallo vibes here for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can play on a lot of stuff that's a little supernatural, because there's some supernatural Giallo stuff. There's a little bit of, mysterious. We don't know who's doing what.
Nice casting. Nice casting on this nurse. Holy moly, she's great.
Oh no, yeah, she's great. She's great in it.
To be continued next week with more information as Jonathan does his deep dive.
Yes. To be continued. And this poster is legendary.
Yeah. It has a very Carpenter kind of feel to it as well.
Yeah, it looked like The Fog for a few shots too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I had always thought I had seen this movie, but fuck, dude, watching the trailer, I never saw it. So thank you, Midnight Geek.
Yeah.
Thanks, Midnight Geek. MVP move, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
We'll give you a shout. We'll let you know that we talked about your recommendations. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, man. Peace,
Alex,
love, happiness. We did it, guys.
Alex needs to go outside and catch some clams on the Oxnard Oceans.
That's the plan. We're clam hunting tonight for sure.
Yeah, clams.
Yeah, get them fresh clams.
So, till next week.
Until next week.
Ooh, ha, ha.
Adios.
You villains.
Adios.